You talked there about, not chasing the badge, and just tell us a bit more about that, and what, especially with the parents you've spoken to in the past, how do you help your child with that kind of the mental shift about, you might be at a Premier League club or a Championship club, and the opportunities actually might be to move across or move down to get back up. Like, how do you help articulate, communicate that with parents, and how do they help with their kids?
Yeah, I think the only way to do it is through stories. I think you have to tell the stories of other players, because to say it as theoretically, go to a Championship club or a League One club, and there's some really good academies, and you be the top dog there, and then you'll make it back up. It's like, oh, yeah, sounds good. But if you talk about players who have done something like that, who've moved from National League clubs straight into Premiership clubs under 21s, or players that have taken places at clubs that are, let's say, moved from a Premiership to a Championship club, but you have the opportunity to train the first team, or you're in a different category academy where they do it differently. Huddersfield's a Category 4 academy. It's going to open up a new academy, but when Tom went there, didn't have the younger age group. So that's quite a different offer to say, actually, there's no other players coming through. All of the players arrived new. So there was a set of 10 brand new players who all arrived from all over the country, many of them from high-level clubs that they just hadn't quite made the grade to get that scholarship. But so they were coming, there were players from lots of different clubs. So that was quite different. Whereas George, he went into Ipswich as the only new player. All of the others, 9, came up through the academy. So those are very different experiences, and you're going to get different players. You're going to get a different model. Huddersfield have this B team model. So you have to kind of you have to sort of use those examples and those stories to show that there isn't just one size fits all. And I think for me is observing that where you've got very large Premiership, for example, Category 1 Premiership clubs, which may be able to retain very large pools of players, you can use those examples to show that there are still people to follow the journey. So to take players that are currently in the under 21s and say who have just been released from under 21s from, let's say, a Cat 1 club, where have they gone to? They've signed as first team players at League 1 and League 2 clubs. So just because they were in a Cat 1 Premiership club doesn't mean they're going to get a Premiership club pro contract. Not everyone can. It's impossible. So therefore, where are they ending up? So I'm a little bit nerdy about it, but I really enjoy just looking at the players that the boys grew up with and seeing where all of them have ended up and how different their journeys are, and how some of them are now professional players and some of them are still in very high level under 21s, and others have gone down to national, come out of academy, gone into National League, not even nationally, gone into kind of grassroots, non-league, and then gone directly back into Premiership clubs. So there's so much variety. I think it allows you then not to hold on to this idea that you have to be at the top level in the best academy the whole time, otherwise nothing good can happen. I think that's what I've really learned, and that's what I tell families.